Hello, everyone. My name is Nekme Obaseki, reporting from Toronto, Canada. It has been a while. We have not been conducting live broadcasts on Nebo TV, and we are back today with Mr. Daniel, all the way from the ancient city of Benin. Hello, Mr. Daniel.
Hello, good afternoon from Nigeria.
Good morning from Canada. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. It has been a while. We have not been discussing about Edo State, especially the politics. Oh my God, what's going on in Edo State right now?
We thank God that the insecurity that have been on the news for a while has drastically been reduced, thanks to the vigilante who now mount checkpoints to check the insecurity in the state. I think I must on this medium commend the those state local vigilantes who are everywhere trying to prevent any security risk in Edo State. I think for to me, I don't know of others. I think Edo is safe for now because I must applaud them for the work they have been doing in, to take up the challenges of insecurity.
Mm. Yeah, I observed that. So we have not been seeing those ugly images of insecurity in the state over the past few weeks. It just shows that they have been able to tackle the issue a little bit, not that totally, at least they are trying their best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the introduction of the local vigilantes to support the police in their quest for better security for everyone has really helped.
Mm.
So in Edo State, I must say, in Edo State, they have really tried their best, and we must thank them for it because it's not
Yeah.
easy to handle security matters of this nature.
Yeah. Yeah. For them to confront, because what was going on in the state for the past how many months now, especially after the election, those state election. Oh my God, the courtism activities in the state, how the youth were killing themselves, the NSAS protests that exacerbated insecurity in different states of the federation. So everything you work together at that time to intensify the insecurity prevailing in Edo State. We thank God that they have been able to reduce by tackling it. I think the vigilantes, according to what they said, that they also posted some vigilantes in the villages as well, right? Right?
Well, that is where I think we have not been hearing of any security challenges, even in the villages, except for little coming out for demonstrating about herdsmen entering their
Uh-huh.
farm.
Yes, that's what we
Yes,
are talking about. Yeah.
it has drastically reduced, and that is why I'm saying singing all praises to
Mm,
and thanks to the local vigilantes who were introduced to help the police, and I
mm,
think they have done their best.
yeah.
For the first time, saying even in my area, the vigilantes in their number patrolling the area. I think the police is also working with them because giving them security risk area,
Mm,
and they are all there. Not only apart from the security, they are also helping the S-man in controlling
mm.
traffic, and I think that is a good work on their part. We want to thank them and those who are organizing them. We do hope that they will keep it up.
Yeah, I can remember those days, Mr. Daniel, in the 80s, in the early 90s in Nigeria. Insecurity was not part of the issues people were facing in the villages. You remember, it was
Yeah.
very, very calm. People don't even think about there's somebody coming to your house. People go to farm with their doors open. Some people don't even buy keys at that time. So today it's not like that anymore. This issue of Fulani herdsmen and everything, people are even afraid to go to their farms in the villages. I hope they will be able to reduce this, tackle this issue so that peace will prevail in Edo State. So yeah, beside that, there's this complaint that Governor Obaseki is not appointing new cabinet members. What is going on? What is going on? Many people are complaining about this.
It has been a very wide concern
Mm.
of for every politicians, even those in the opposition.
Network problem.
Been able to constitute his cabinet.
Mm.
A lot of
I can hear you.
hello,
Go ahead.
yes. So a lot of reasons have been from different angle. One is saying that due to the court case, which he has always been winning, that has hindered him from constituting his cabinet. I believe most of the, even to the appeal he has won, one would have expected him by now to constitute his cabinet. But another angle is saying financial constraint. Don't forget that he just hosted the National Sport Festival, and it was a huge sum of those resources that was sent to that hosting. Can even remember that there was a time he wanted to back out because the federal government was not bringing their counterpart fund. I think that was later resolved by the federal government and all those issues. But by now, I think it is hard time for him to constitute his cabinet. If he cannot get the commissioners for now, because I know politics is also involved, political parties, leaders trying to bring in names. But at least we should have what we call special advisors and senior special assistants so that the special advisors can handle those departments and ministries that the commissioner, pending when the commissioners are being appointed. I think it's hard time he should be thinking in that direction.
But it's taking him a very long time. People have been
Uh,
expecting this. In order for a country or any group of entity to function, you need people to be working. You only the governor, he cannot do everything. How can only you and only your deputy be a commissioner, be advisor or be everything. So that is why we're expecting him to appoint his cabinet members that will help him through this process of developing Edo State. And many people are complaining. I understand what is going on, but it's very difficult for many people have been calling me, complaining that you see what the governor is doing, that he's not appointing cabinet members. What about the money? What is he doing with the money? People are concerned about he maybe he's trying to save the money for his own benefit, or that is what some people are thinking right now. So yeah, we are expecting
uh,
him to appoint. Yeah.
I am not Governor Obaseki's spokesman, but I believe one of those things which you are also saying here, he's keeping. Which money is he keeping? Don't forget that the COVID issue has brought a lot of economic men down on every state of the federation. I don't think there's money there. In
Hmm.
fact,
That
my
is what
own
people are
reason,
thinking. That is what people
yes,
are
my own
thinking. Yeah.
reason I believe why he has not constituted this cabinet is also financial constraint. I said earlier that don't forget he just hosted the National Sport Festival, and a huge lot of Edo money was sent there. You understand? And looking at the economy men down and how to survive in this country, I believe that is one of the reasons. Though I cannot speak for him until he actually is being
Hmm.
asked why he has not constituted his cabinet. every special advisors or senior special assistant that shall be appointed will
mm,
definitely will get their pay and allowances. Don't, and it's not going to come from Obaseki's pocket. It's also going to come from the state resources, mega
mm,
resources. Don't forget that the local government election was not conducted in Edo State. Rivers conducted theirs on Saturday. Edo State could not conduct theirs, and I also
why?
believe that it's because
It's
of the
because of
financial
the
constraint. It's a
really that.
financial constraint. Yes, yes. We just came out from a very wide election. Huge resources were sent, by both parties, and now the local government tenor was getting off the ground. Just as I would not want a situation where the head of the senior civil servant is now mounting local government. Local government administration is a tier of government of its own and should not be manned by civil servants. But those State could not conduct the election. And today we have in every local government area the most senior civil servants handling the affair of the local government, which to me is not good. But if you look at the situation presently going on in Nigeria, the COVID issue, the economy mend down, and these are, if you have to, even if you have to appoint politicians to go there as administrators in local government, you have to pay them their allowances and what more attached to the office, you know, and a lot of legal issues that you can no longer appoint except you conduct election for local government, I believe. But I am not one of those school of thought that believe that he cannot appoint if there's a financial constraint, because I'm not too comfortable with civil servant heading the local government administration presently as it is in Edo State. If you cannot, because of the financial constraint, you can send an act to the House of Assembly, giving a time frame for you to have administrators for this local government, appoint career politicians who can manage that local government election pending when fund is available to conduct election. When you send an act to the State House of Assembly and it is accepted, it becomes law. It cannot be challenged in the court of law. So these are issues that we are presently facing. To me, just as I said earlier, I am not speaking, I'm not the spokesman for Obaseki. He has not appointed me as such. But I believe one of the reasons I believe one of the reasons for it is financial constraint.
Yes, me too. I believe that. Me too. I understand, but some people it's difficult for them to understand. They believe that he's trying to, save the money for something. The court cases were too much. And that election was too expensive. Look at all the drama, everything that happened at that time. It was money. They were spending money. You think that election would have been successful like that without some good resources? You understand? So, and after that, the court cases were too much, too much, too much court cases. In Nigeria, you don't win court cases freely like that. You know, you understand that, Mr. Daniel. The way the
Yes.
governor was winning the court cases, not in Nigeria.
In with the system we are
Let's
operating also contribute to it. The presidential system is very costly. Even the oppositions, many of them are still getting to their feet because you have to spend a lot of hell of money, even in campaigning to the essence of election.
yeah.
So it's everybody. So I believe those who are complaining should wait. I believe let us be patient with him. I've
The
always seen him
opposition.
go on a lot of programs how to reposition Edo State, and I think it is good for Edo people. Yes, it is right by now. He should have been constituting his cabinet so as to give more. The when they said the soup is a soup, the soup is very sweet. It is not meant for one man. Everybody must taste it, and that is politics for you. Even among the politicians in the PDP would have now been grumbling. because everybody will want to be part of their hard work, campaigning, and others, you know, and even yourself, you know, you worked out there during the election, but campaigning through Nepo TV for him.
Everything I'm doing is for the benefit of my state. I
Of
don't live in
Edo,
I don't yeah, I don't live in Nigeria. I've been in Canada for more than a
yeah,
decade
that's
now.
true.
I'm a citizen here. You understand? I have my family here. I had my baby here in Canada, Canadian born. So for me, anything I'm doing is just for the progress and benefit of
And
my
it's well
state.
appreciated. We saw the right side there, and that is why you are concerned now that up to now he has not constituted his cabinet.
Yeah,
And
cabinet, yes.
yes, and I think he will.
And
He will. I
people
think
have
for
been
for the
calling me saying that, because I supported him during the election period. Some people were calling me complaining that, you see, Governor Obaseki is not appointing his cabinet, is not doing this, complaints every time. So that is why I was concerned. Say, what's going on? The other day I saw him, was it on China's when he was saying that he's going to appoint his cabinet, he just needs some time, something like that. I was curious. I said, what's going on now? But I knew that during that election period and after the election, the court cases were too much. Court cases were too much, and the election was a very expensive one, very, very popular and expensive election. Even the blind can see what happened at that time. So all those things is placing too much pressure on the resources of those states. That is just the truth. We have to be realistic here. So yeah, that is what is going for the insecurity in Edo State. Thank God that they have been able to tackle the issue. And insecurity, we have never been seeing all those ugly images that the state was producing at that time. Oh my God! I remember a few months ago when the court boys were killing themselves in the street of Benin. All those ugly images. For the past more than a month now, I haven't seen anything so bad about Edo State, and I'm so happy about that. So beside that, what is going on in Edo State right now?
Well, I will be one of those to say that for now, those state is calm and peaceful. The vigilantes are handling the security challenges in everywhere, help supporting the police,
Mm,
in marking
mm,
checkpoints, and to see that Edo is peaceful. The governor is going about trying to reposition Edo through invitation. Even I think yesterday or so, a German firm was discussing on how to have a 30 years development program for Edo State.
30 years.
And yes, it's gradual. The governor was there telling them the reason why we must, keep moving Edo State forward and all that. And I think he is also doing his best, trying to bring development to Edo
Okay, to
people.
adjust. Mm.
Yes, whatever. Before this Obaseki's plan and here and there, we used to have something like developmental plans for state before this time. And you see it fizzle out,
We what?
where a governor will have an 8-year development plan for a state, fund from the state, counterpart fund from other international organization as grants, and you see within that 8 years being monitored and it is going on. But unfortunately, we are hardly seeing it until now when Obaseki is trying to bring such a light in that even after he leaves, because with that 30 years development plan, if monitored by previous incoming administration, can bring development to Edo State. Politics like what we operate here is presidential system of government. 8 years, a man is off. The
Mm.
challenges we have been facing in terms of development is that whoever comes in
Mm.
hardly want to take over from the developmental
Yes.
plans the
Mm.
other governor.
Left behind.
So
Yes.
most of their projects are
Mm.
either abandoned or a new
Mm.
one created. That has always been the problem in Nigeria.
In Nigeria as a whole, this problem is peculiar to the country, not only in Edo State, that the previous governor left some uncompleted
Okay.
projects, while the incoming one will just neglect it, abandoned. So it's very common in Nigeria. That's why the country is not developing. It's still the same system. How come a new governor will not continue with the legacy of the previous one? If any project was left behind, you need to complete it, and just make so that the state will develop. You leave it, abandon it there, then you continue with another one. And when you are leaving as well, you leave some, uncompleted projects. Nigeria, we have problem, and the problem is coming from the federal government. They're supposed to be regulating the governors properly. You cannot leave any project uncompleted. You cannot leave, and if you leave any project uncompleted, there should be a kind of a regulation. You understand? A regulation that will ensure that the incoming governor will complete that project. But in Nigeria, it's not like that. This problem is coming from the federal government. And I remember a few months ago when I
Is
was
it from the federal government? I don't think it's from the federal government.
no,
We have National Assembly, with all due respect to our
oh,
senators and
if we wait for that one,
legislators,
if we wait
you
for
know, it just, they don't think to enact laws like what we just said now. Obaseki is having a program of 30 years development plan for Edo State. And when he's gone out of office for the next 4 years, who is he very sure that the incoming governor, even if from the same party, will follow suit? Is
now,
it's not
no,
binding on them. There's no
mm,
statutory bond on them that they
them,
must complete it. So
no
it has
matter.
always been there. They
Mm,
abandon the project, and for reasons best known to them,
mm,
they just abandon the project and start on their own. Maybe
mm.
they are going to areas where their name and praises will be sung. Like though water storm, though the governor, with all due respect to him, uh, I think he revisited the plan and discovered that the plan itself was not a project to remove water from Edo people. I think that was his reason. He said he's going to work on it again, and that was why it's about. Edo water storm, for instance, was supposed to remove erosion from the entire city of Benin. Apart from recently when we now hear that the governor is saying it's faulty, it will not remove water from the city, and is trying to probe the money that was sent into that fund, the fund that was sent into that project. These are the issues we keep saying. A project that must be continued. It must be a viable project. Now we are seeing a lot of errors that some governors, I don't want to cast aspersion on anybody, are just doing it for making praises for themselves, not actual development for the people and the state. Because if a project that you have launched so much money, running into billions into, and now at the end of the day, there's now a structural defects, engineering fault, that your plan that it will remove water from the city is actually not. So I won't blame the governor when he said he was going to set up a probe to look into the fund and how to retrieve the fund.
Yes,
When we are
mm,
saying projects, it should be meaningful projects. It can be after your tenure, but it must be meaningful. With all due respect to federal government, you can see initially when they came in, all Jonathan's projects were abandoned. For instance, in the sector of railway, but most of those projects they have gone back to it, revisited it, and saw that it was for the benefit of Nigerians. And the Minister for Transport, irrespective that he has a great opposition to President Jonathan at that time, is now the one championing the completion of those projects.
mm.
He's not the
So
one championing it.
yeah, Mr. Daniel, what about the stormwater projects in Edo State that during
I
the
just told you what is happening.
no, Adam Soshomole, we have to be precise
Yes,
with this. Adam Soshomole, the 30 billion naira
yes, yes,
stormwater project. So the governor said he's
yes.
going to probe the administration, right?
Yeah,
Of Adam
probe the project,
the project.
because
Okay.
a lot of funds were sunk into that project, and now maybe through the engineering report or structural report, wherever it may, have now discovered that
Mm,
that project cannot remove water from the
mm,
city of Benin.
Benin.
Although a stormwater project is meant to alleviate the erosion problem within Benin City and environ, channeling it to Oba, and other river nearby. Now, a structural defect has occurred that that project will not be able to remove water or tackle erosion problem from Edo State.
No,
So,
we
and a
have
lot
this.
of money have been into that project.
Okay, so who is in control of the project? Is it
At
Adam
that time, it
Soshomole?
was eh, well. At that time, it was under the Commissioner for Environment, who, unfortunately or fortunately, is now a minister under the federal government.
Oh, forget it. Somebody is already under the fed. Oh, we have problem in Nigeria. Federal
I
government.
remember there was a time he came and was even he visited the Oba of Benin Ebaeware, pleading with him to talk to the governor to continue the project,
Mhm,
those water storm projects,
mm,
Clem Agba,
mm.
pleading with him to talk to the governor. Now, of recent, a report has come. Definitely, it's not a report which layman will come out with. Must be teams, architect, engineering,
I
engineers
saw it. I saw it.
have,
As,
yes, that it have a structural defect that cannot remove water. That is
oh,
why the government wants to probe it now.
and that erosion is a serious problem
It's
affecting
a
the
very
state,
it's a big one in Edo State.
mostly in Benin
No
City.
thanks to a lot of in Benin, no
No,
thanks
in
to
Benin.
some of our land developers who have now blocked channels by
Mm,
building houses in those channels that normally water would have passed. It's very unfortunate. I think our forefathers, our great obas, may have
mm,
saw this from time immemorial. You understand?
mm.
And thereby creating this moat, which have been an avenue to take some of this water. But unfortunately, developers have even taken over most of those channels by filling it and building houses on them. So, irrespective of the fact that yes, the stormwater project was corrupt, was not actually meant to remove water from those states, but we as a people should learn to also maintain our environment, and the Ministry of Environment and the lands should also be very watchful so as not to approve areas. There was a place around Todd. There's a moat normally at that place, of which towards what is his name again? There's an area, and land developers came, sanfid the area, and built houses. To the extreme end, it is now an erosion prone area to Okiso area. But before this time, there was nothing of that nature. So, irrespective of the fact that yes, the stormwater have been declared defective, we ourselves should also maintain our environment. If we have,
Mhm.
even moats, our moats have now been sanfid and houses are now being built on it.
And it's not supposed to be like that because
Yes.
that moat is a historical thing in
Yeah,
Edo
very,
State.
very historical. And it
Very,
would have
very
fetched money for
historical.
Edo people.
Yes,
It would
and
have
it would
fetched
have
money for
even
Edo people.
attracted tourist center, tourist attraction. I mean, tourist attraction in Benin City. Instead, people are some filling the moats and building houses on top. It's so sad. It's so sad. When you look some of the things we have in that Benin City, Edo State, I wish we can develop the state and would have been making money from tourist attractions because of the historical preeminence of the state. But we are not. We are not getting anything because of lack of development, insecurity in the state. All those things, you know, it's so sad. People who don't even have a quarter, one quarter of what we have in Edo State, they are making hell of money. Hell of money. Look at our artifacts that they took to Britain. Today, they are making billions from our artifacts in their museums. Eh? But we have many in Edo State. Are we making money from our own, the ones we have in Edo State? Probably no. Probably no, right? Oh, no. Ah, no. Mhm. Yeah, Mr. Daniel, we thank God though for the
Yeah.
insecurity in the state. That one was the major concern. We don't want to be watching all those ugly images from those state. We thank God that things are getting better now, right?
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Daniel, for the breakdown, but the opposition will never do a research before it's taken. Yes, exactly. This idea that the governor is not appointing cabinet members, it's like a kind of created a vacuum for the opposition to criticize the governor. You understand that, Mr. Daniel? So, yeah, that is just the thing. They are criticizing, but they should remember that that election was not an easy one. Let's just.
Apart from the election, let's leave the election aside because when
Mm.
you are conducting an election, it's not state form. You are not expected to use state form
But
to conduct election. What it is personal and from your group.
yes,
But
it's
most
true
of the
though.
time, we are now seeing a lot of changes. Those days, a politician will want to contest an election. He organized a dinner launching party of which his friends and those who are supporting him will raise a lot of money for him. We hardly see that done of recent. I have not seen it done. I remembered even when I was into politics, when we were, there was a councillor we needed to support. He was nothing. He was not having anything. We just needed to support him, and we went talking to elders. We heard a lot. I remember even my father's hall was used as a meeting venue, free of charge, just
Mm,
for us to get him on board. And fortunately, he also won the election at that time. So, but these are not happening again. There's a lot of things diving into state forms
mm,
in it. Yes, but no, by and large, we expect the governor by now to think in that direction so as not to get more attack from the opposition to constitute his cabinet. It is very
mm,
necessary that when the
mm,
government is constituted, but yes, we knew he had a lot of challenges, court cases, which
mm,
have now subpeddled, and
mm,
apart from the financial constraint, I don't see because anybody you are appointing, you cannot appoint me as a special advisor and you tell me that I will not be paid. It's not done because you are
yeah.
asking me to work for you. So he needs to reorganize his finance so as to take care of those allowances of
Yes, yes,
those
yes.
special
Mm,
advisors, senior special
mm,
assistants, and the commissioner.
mm,
If I am one of his advisors, I would have
mm,
advised him appoint special advisors,
mm,
appoint senior special assistants, wait for a while, let the special advisors handle those department that needed to be handled by the commissioners, you know, and until when you feel it's right to appoint commissioners for those departments. Because I
and
know
the
a lot of people complaining. Even not even the opposition. Let's get one thing clear. Not even the opposition are complaining. Even those who supported him,
tell him,
they supported.
yes.
Yes, they
Mm,
supported him for a reason.
yeah, they are complaining too. Yeah, I've seen many. Yes, I've seen many of them. They are complaining. They said it's so disappointing that they never expected the governor. to stay this long, not appointing commissioners, cabinet members. That is hard to call people. When you a governor of a state, you cannot call him for everything. So some who are willing to work with the state, they need all these cabinet members that they can call and assist them through the process. But they can't. There's nobody you can lay your hands on right now. You cannot call anybody. There's no commissioner, nothing, nobody. So people are complaining. Even his supporters are complaining about this. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, okay. What about Oba Ewari Ogidigan the second?
Well,
Yeah,
Oba
um,
Atokwe, I'm not also his spokesman, just
you're
that
not,
I know that I know he's hale and heady. The kingdom is thriving. We are moving on. The kingdom is calm, and I
yes,
believe
yes.
whether he's not coming out in public, he's always praying for the people of Edo, his
Ah,
kingdom, and the Edo people at large. I think it's
oh
well.
my God.
Everywhere is okay.
The Oba is so funny. I saw his video, the last video I saw about him when he was complaining about some people. Uh, they always sneak to churches, while when it comes to any matter or concerning the tradition, you don't see them. So he was just saying it's so funny. It's so funny. The Oba. Oh my God. These days, some people they don't want to participate in tradition. They believe that
It's not. I don't believe it's not true. I think
some
what is
people.
happening.
Mm,
I don't believe it's. I won't like to support that statement. There's a clear definition. Christianity has not opposed any tradition or custom that is not diabolical. And most of our traditional aspects, customary issues in Benin are not diabolical.
you
It
know,
is for us. It is for us to make more emphasis. If the red cap chiefs can be accepted in the churches in the Igbo land, you understand? All what Benin does is they are customary. I want to marry. You want to marry. It is traditional. Is there anything diabolical? It is what is the custom and ethics of the people.
the problem is that I think our people need a little bit of awareness about the differences between tradition and religion. So,
The religion.
yes,
So
you
in
understand.
Benin, it is rather very fused, but it is often being separated.
No, some people just.
There's one adage in Benin, and I keep asking a lot of those who want to criticize that the Benin are so fetish,
Mm,
I made that saying even before I was born. It has been there.
mm,
I go ba webo.
because Yoba is a god himself.
I go ba webo. It means that whatever you want to serve the Oba is purely administrative. It has
Ah,
nothing to do with your religion. I
oh,
go ba webo.
okay. I go back where, but what does that mean?
I go webo.
Mm,
If you want to really work for the kingdom,
mm.
it has nothing to do with your religion.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with your
No,
religion.
yes, yes, exactly. The Benin monarch is very inclusive. When you even study the history of the
This
monarch,
is it.
we have been so inclusive in the monarch who received Christians, missionaries at that time, you know. Oh,
So it's very unfortunate that a lot of people are misunderstanding the concept of the Benin people. If the Oba invites you to be part of a discussion that has to do with the people, you are there. The only thing that can be done there is breaking of kola, which is accepted. It's a customary norms for every African man. You break cola and possibly a gin. If you don't drink gin, nobody forces you not to drink gin. It has nothing to do with it. You understand? You sit there, and all you have to do is give your wisdom in settling any issue. That has nothing to do with your religion.
It's yeah, I think some people they I think they need awareness about the differences between religion and tradition. You understand? Even the Benin monarch there, many pastors are visiting the Oba always in the monarch. So those who are ignorant about this idea of religion and tradition, they need a little bit of awareness so that they will understand that even the Igua festival, many people believe that Igua festival is very fetish. There's nothing. Igua festival is just like a Thanksgiving in Canada, for instance. You understand? It's just the same. There's no different. You just thank your God. You thank. Somebody was asking me a question one day. I said, no, Igwe Festival is a Thanksgiving ceremony in Edo State in Benin. You understand? It's deeply rooted in our tradition. It's a very, very important festival that we thank our God and our head. Somebody said, your head? Why should you be thanking your head? I said, no, you thank God through your head. You understand the way you still thank God when you are celebrating your Thanksgiving here. You understand you cook, you eat, you buy chicken, you do whatever you want to celebrate your Thanksgiving. It's just the same thing in Benin City that we celebrate Igwe Festival to thank God, the Almighty God, on our head. You understand, for protecting and preserving our life up to date. So it's just there's no one different thing. There's nothing fetish about Igwe Festival. It's a Thanksgiving. So it's still very difficult for many people to understand that Igwe Festival is a Thanksgiving ceremony in Edo State, in Benin City. You
Well,
understand?
Igua Festival is like is a very is a I would take it more of a philosophical thing. One aspect, if you really want to look at Igwe and you want to celebrate it, look at it as the end of year,
Mm-hmm.
beginning of a new year,
Yeah,
which you go to
exactly.
your church to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
That God has spared your life to a new year.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Igwe calendar, the Igwe being celebrated is the calendar of the Edos, the Benin, for the beginning of a new year. So if you have celebrated the Igwe in our calendar, you are already on a new year. Are you getting it? You are already on a new year. So it's Thanksgiving, as you have said, thanking God Almighty.
Mm,
Nobody will tell you, you know the God you serve, thanking Him in whatever form.
mm,
I can remember at that time, at that same particular when my father was alive, that was the day he will invite his children. If he wants to rewrite his will, he will use the opportunity to rewrite his gift to his children. He brings them together. You understand?
mm.
Thanking God for sparing their lives.
Yes.
So it is more of philosophical. It depends on how you want it celebrated. That may one a Benin man is celebrating it this way does not make you celebrate it in that way.
The way. Exactly.
You
Exactly.
understand?
Yeah.
So just as you have said, it's a Thanksgiving. It's the end of a new year, the beginning of a new year
Mm,
for the Edo people.
the people. Yes, that's what they said. I keep repeating that video over and over again every year. This past December I did that as well for people to understand the importance and the significance of this ego. That is nothing. There's nothing fetish about it at all. At all. We grow. I remember those days when during Igwe festival, we break coconuts. You understand? Then we go fetch aware leaf. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. So some people they don't just understand the culture of the Benin people. They don't understand it. So they speculate. There are a lot of fallacies out there about Igwe Festival, especially what the British people wrote about Igwe Festival at that time to justify their conquest of Benin. So some people still carry that mentality, that idea that Igbo festival there's something fetish behind. There's nothing at all, at all. British people they wrote those articles at that time, books about Benin. And everybody knows that to justify their conquest. You know. So that's it. Mr. Daniel, thank you so much. I think we have to end this program now.
Thank you
Um,
very much. It's a pleasure.
We have some comments here saying that we do not even need the cabinet as long as the governor is the governor is working so hard. The last day I saw him somewhere, it's like if you see the governor, you can even say that he's overworking himself these days because what the cabinet members are supposed to be doing, even the
Well,
governor,
I will not also agree on that statement. A government must have a
a
cabinet.
cab- but
Once
the
you
gov-
have been elected, once you have been elected, do you
Hmm,
know? It is just because if you look at the constitution, an opposition, just like
hmm.
Izeyamu contested with the governor. Once the governor is being sworn in, Izeyamu is expected to constitute his opposition cabinet in
Yes, yes.
every department to see the to ensure that the governor works according to his plan, according to his campaign, and according to the dictates of the constitution. But that we are not seeing in Nigeria. You constitute your own, challenging every. It's very unfortunate that when you challenge a government, they will go and look for your old past and try to name you. It is normal that opposition oppose every policy of a current government. So once
He
you
would.
are elected and sworn in, the next aspect is to constitute the cabinet for every government. That the governor is working, everybody's know that the governor is working. But you need, even
It's not
though
enough.
most
It's
of
not
them,
enough. Mm,
yes, it's not enough. Most of them
mm.
are even still there working hard with him, with maybe taking little allowances, but you
Mm.
need to constitute a cabinet.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that is why some people are complaining now that they cannot access some of the activities in the state because they need the cabinet members to access those activities. You understand? You cannot just call the governor for everything. If you want to work with maybe the health sector, you want to work with whatever in the state, you need the cabinet members who are working in that specific area of the state. But if you cannot access them, can the governor do everything? Can the governor answer every cause? No, he cannot answer all the calls. So that is why he needs to appoint his cabinet members so that they can serve the state. So we are expecting the governor to do that, and I think he will do it soon. According to what he said the other day, we are expecting him. He will do. He will definitely. I know. I understand why he is taking him a little bit of time because of the crisis, the election crisis, and everything. The court cases were too much. Were too much. Anyway, Mr. Daniel, thank you so much. Tomorrow we're going to come back again to discuss about one big topic. Guess what? The Olu of Worry. The new yeah, we'll come back and discuss about that. It's a big topic, big news. What is going on in Worry right now? The new Oluofo. I don't want to say it today. Let's just reserve it for tomorrow. No explanation. Tomorrow we reserve it for tomorrow. So thank you all for watching. We are back again with our daily broadcast on Nebo TV. Since then I've been so busy doing another project. I'm back again with our political analysis, news, what is going on in Nigeria at large. All right. Thank you all for joining. If today is your first time of visiting our channel, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and follow us, share our videos. We are back again with our discussion. Tomorrow, we're going to come back and discuss about Olu of Worry, the new Olu of Worry, and the controversy behind the appointment of the Olu. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow. Mr. Daniel, thank you so much.
Oh, too. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Bye, everyone.